Hello everyone and welcome to the Enemies Earlier, and thank you for joining me as we talk about episode 6 of The Tower of God. An episode that focuses mainly on Anak and gives us a sneak peek into what drives her character forward and why she wants to climb the tower. Overall, I thought this episode was really good. I liked the animation and the plot progression. The music was absolutely fantastic, especially when Bam was standing outside of Rachel's room. Most of the time, the music was kind of like really mysterious and airy and almost kind of like a sinister type of vibe by it, which I really did like. It had suspense, it had tension, which to me is really good. Now, I'm going to start with Endorsi, which is the character that we got introduced to last time. And honestly, I love this character. Her playful personality was just great, and her skills are no joke. Her design is brilliant. She comes across as being very friendly in this episode, but to me, it kind of seems like she's treating life as a game because it's just too easy for her. There's not a lot more to say about this character right now. We know that she's a princess of Jahad. That was meant to be like a big shock, but honestly, we could kind of guess that already based on the interactions she had with Anak the last couple of episodes. And yeah, so basically this character, I love the fact, though, that we learn a small amount about her character, and yet she's still shrouded in lots of mystery. That's fantastic. I want to know more about this character. Give me more of Endorsi, please. Okay, so then why don't we just follow on and go with Anak while she's still here. First off, her young self is just adorable. But her reasoning and motivations are in the right place, but are likely going to turn out to be wrong/pointless. Because there's two reasons. Number one, her foster mother, who aka is the real Anak, seems like a very kind and gentle woman. Yes, she got aggressive and her tone kind of changed when she said, "I thought you were going to give me a life of luxury," or something like that. However, I do believe that this kind, gentle woman who is the real Anak basically wouldn't think about exacting revenge and would probably feel bad after hearing or finding out that Anak killed someone for her sake. I just don't think that fits in line with the real Anak's personality. I mean, she might be dead. I don't think the episode kind of confirmed that, but at the end of the day, I just think that Anak's motivations are misplaced and misguided. Reason number two, the princesses that we know of don't seem like the type of people to kill someone, unless there's an extreme reason. Even Endorsi asks the supervisor of their test or practice session in this episode, would it kill someone if they fell off this platform? Which shows that she's not fully a terrible person, based on the facts that we know thus far. However, it's just a case of needing more information with Anak's goals and the kind of situation that her revenge is based around. We find out that her foster father was a baker, and that basically he was killed by one of the princesses. So maybe it was like jealousy between the real Anak and another princess that caused the fire. Who knows? I personally just thought that the pie baker just kind of left the oven on for too long. But it turns out it's much more serious than that. And I thought that a reveal of her being an orphan was alright. It was certainly unexpected. I didn't expect to have that as the reason. And the fact that she's actually targeting the 13-month weapons is really smart, as it either handicaps the targets that an actor going for, if she's smart about that reason. Otherwise, I can see a situation in where she's getting the weapons so that she can fight the princesses of Ajar at their max power. So basically what I mean by this is she's now got Black March. She seems like a type of character who likes a good fight, and maybe she just wants to fight Yuri at her top peak when she's having Black March. So that's why she's got Black March, and she's gonna basically just say, have this so you can defend yourself, fight me, I'm gonna kill you. That's the kind of vibe I get from her character at the moment, but I hope she's a bit more smarter than that. Maybe her teammate might level her out a little bit, but as it stands, she's kind of distancing herself away from them. Now, moving forward to Bam. And honestly, his outfit is super cool. I really like it. Maybe get rid of the headband around his head, which I guess is there to kind of stop the bleeding, because maybe he's still banged up, but I don't know. I really appreciate the fact that Bam isn't extremely clueless, and he knows that Khan is actually lying to him, or hiding the fact that Rachael is the girl that he was trying to save in the last episode. Like, he definitely knows that it's Rachael. He doesn't question Khan about it, but he's just like, why doesn't she want to see me? Is there something wrong with me? Or am I not strong enough? And I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought that was really kind of... It shows that Bam's character is evolving and is developing a sense of his surroundings, and he's progressing and moving forward. The scene with him making a contract was crazy, the image of the beast was awesome, the music and the voice acting was spot on, and that line, "For you, it isn't a contract, it's a shackle." That was super cool, as we know that Bam's maximum output after episode 5 is just absolutely insane and crazy. And the fact that he's learning to control this power means that he has to kind of put a limiter on it in order to kind of practice using a set amount of it without it going crazy. I think even, I'm going to mispronounce his name, I do apologize. I just couldn't find anywhere that tells me it. But Lelolo, he basically, the administrator, the ranker, the blonde-haired dude that we see, he basically stated that Bam basically used Shinsu unleashed without having a contract. And that is unprecedented, meaning that it's really powerful. So, the fact that he was able to do this, and the fact that he now created a contract, means that his powers are kind of limited and capped to a certain extent, which once that kind of builds off, it's going to be a big payoff, and it's going to be absolutely massive, because if we know anything, when a character goes out of control, and his powers go absolutely crazy, after he's been training with a level cap, then we know that it's just going to expand and grow, and it's just going to be a mess. So, with that, yeah, pretty cool. I love that line. It adds a bit more mystery to it. It adds like this kind of speculative feel. Brilliant. And this just basically leads to him getting more development, which is something I really do like about Bam's character, because he's a character that's almost a blank slate. Rachael taught him a few things, he's now learning things as he goes through the tower, and he's developing and evolving as a fighter and as a Shinsu user. So, what's not to love? I understand where Khan's coming from, and he wants to protect Bam from the type of woman that Rachael is, and it's kind of like he's experienced something similar before, which we know he has, so that's fine. But I love the fact that he's becoming a guardian figure to Bam, and seeing the connection between these two characters grow is so enjoyable to watch. Plus, as soon as I saw the light barrier role, I knew that it just suited his character extremely well, and him using the computers just seems right. Now then, Rachael. Rachael, for me, is a very confused character. She's quite difficult to get a hold on at the moment, because we just keep getting bits and pieces of her kind of character, her psychologically, just where her character is at the moment. And it just feels slightly off, and maybe bits and pieces are left out that would make the scene more, believable and make more sense to us as the viewer. But as it stands right now, she's afraid of being left behind and being all on her own. But she's the one pushing everybody away. So to me, this kind of feels like the tower is getting to her and it's affecting her mentally. The whole reason why she wanted to talk to Khan was basically because she doesn't want Bam to go after him, but after her, basically. That's kind of easy to guess, but the thing about Bam being her weakness and her being his weakness is completely ridiculous, as Bam would most definitely get stronger when fighting for Rachael's sake, and I think it's likely that she's just extremely stressed out. She probably wasn't expecting the tower to be like it is, and we know her desires to see the stars. It's been said so many times, it's reiterated in this episode, but maybe the tower's just becoming too much for her, and it's causing her a lot of mental strain, and causing her actions and her kind of thoughts to become a bit delusional, and thus devoid of reason. that's kind of my thoughts on Rachael at the moment. Again, she just seems like a really odd character and maybe a bit too much confusion going on with her. Again, there probably is details and information missing, so we need to kind of find out more on that front. Next up, let's talk about the new test. This new test looks really interesting, if I'm honest. It looks like it could be pretty enjoyable, and we can see some characters taking on new roles, and they tease a bit of a rivalry being built up between certain characters, which I absolutely want to see happen. So we got a fisherman, someone who is has to fight at close quarter combats. Pretty cool, but one thing about this I thought was a bit strange. They don't mention the word kill, so they can fight, but they can't kill their opponent. Is that kind of them just missing out a line or missing out a word, or is that just my interpretation? Let me know down in the comments below. I might be misconstruing it, who knows. The spear, it can attack and kill anyone from a long range. Okay, pretty simple. But it's obvious that the rivalry they're hinting at here is getting Rax and the other member of Rachael's team. You know, the big, strong, muscly dude that wears a mask? That guy. The light barrier, someone who illuminates the tower's darkness and gathers, plus disrupts information about the situation. I would like to see a rival between Rachael and Khun in this episode. We see both of them using the computers, so it's obvious that that might be sort of going towards. Plus, we know that there's a bit of animosity between the characters. There's a bit of tension because Khun doesn't like the way that Rachael is acting, especially towards his friend Bam. So I think that can be pretty cool. Plus, I think the light barrier just suits Khun very nicely. The scouts assist the fishermen and gather intel on the enemies on the front lines. Pretty cool. Wave controller, these control and support in combat using Shinsu. Bam and the horned guy that we see in this episode, they're a good matchup, plus it leads to more development and showcasing. When the Lolio basically said that Bam is in this category, I was like, hold on a minute, he's trying to keep tabs on Bam's strength, or he's trying to limit how much output he can do. It's basically his way of kind of keeping an eye on Bam's character so his power won't go out of control and be a harm and a danger to the tower. He knows he messed up in the last episode by lying to his superior to basically cover for Bam in this instant, so he's trying to keep Bam at an arm's length. I thought that was pretty cool, a little bit suspect, but we just had to see how that plans out going forward. The comedy in this episode was really funny. I loved the scene with Shibisu and Black March. As soon as he touched her and just kind of went crazy, got zapped, I instantly thought, this guy isn't cute enough for me. And that was totally the case. Loved it. Now, call me cruel, but I found the scene with Endorsi kicking the guy off the platform, just the easiness of it all. I just found it so funny. Plus, she had to kick him a very long distance, and it looked effortless. Overall, this episode was really great. I may have missed a few things in terms of some good talking points, so if I have, let me know down in the comment section below, and we'll start that discussion down there. Because I do like talking about this show. It's a very interesting show, and it gives you a lot of good talking points and plot development. So, why not let me know what your thoughts are on this episode? What was your favourite things? What are the things that I've missed? All that good stuff down below. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day. And I'll catch you then. Arigato, matane, bye-bye.